bridges. We got robbed, now we got riches.
Get it out there in our own way. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you done have some viral content, and sometimes I be watching your video, like the videos that I see pop up of you, and you be having some controversial moments. Like people be like,
I mean,
thinking what they be thinking, saying what they be thinking, and I just be wondering like, how do you be dealing with going viral or having those moments?
because I don't want to date a broke man.
That one.
I'm not gonna really again, how am I supposed to feel some type of way about somebody who mismanaged their life?
Right.
It's not my problem.
So you feel like if somebody's broke, they mismanage their life? Like that's period what you think?
It's a combination of just events that lead up to that. It's mismanaging. It's just like a woman that has mad baby daddies.
Facts. Their decisions leading up to the outcome.
A person mismanaging their life has nothing to do with me. It's projection.
Right. So what do you think kind of helps somebody not mismanage? Or do you think there's an opportunity for them to
There is always a series of events that lead up to it. But eventually, you have to understand that you make your bed and lay in it. You can lay in it and you can obviously dig yourself out. But some of these things that are happening are self-inflicted. Yeah. Nobody makes you have sex.
No, I agree completely.
Nobody makes you spend money.
Do you feel like the relationship that you're in now is a relationship that you always kind of dreamed of? Like where you were like, this is the type of person I want to be with?
In a sense of patience and the communication skills. But as far as income and providing, that's just been the standard. That was the filter. But 100% character and his ability to communicate and be patient with me, then yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely good. Do you feel like they have to make the same as you or more than you?
There's a baseline to be able to provide the certain lifestyle that I was already living.
Okay. And so if they're not doing that, it's like...
How are you going to provide the lifestyle that I'm already coming into the picture into and the lifestyle that was raised on?
I agree.
So it's
do you feel like you have to bring something to the table?
No.
You don't?
I could be broke today and nothing would change in my relationship.
So we just getting into it. We haven't even fully started because I was like, okay, this just captured me already. What do you think then, okay, as the woman not bringing anything to the table, what do you feel like your duties are?
Domestication. If you want to be a traditional relationship, whether it's today or 60 years ago, a woman is to take care of the home and the children and raise those children. Why are we saying, everybody preaches that school is so bad, that they're teaching our kids so these horrible things, and why don't you get in the field and teach your child how to read?
Yeah. Take them out of public education.
Yeah, why don't, if you have a problem with the education system and your children being exposed to a number of different things, then you should, as a woman and as a mother to those children, you should take them out of school and do it yourself.
Yeah. Okay, well, you being an entrepreneur and having a busy life, because I watched a reel with you saying I think you guys were on vacation. You were like, oh, I was having a moment where I was going viral, so I just completely stopped everything and made an ebook.
Yeah, but it took about 30 minutes in our day. It's 24 hours in our day.
Right. How does that work with you being a successful woman and feeling okay, I'm going to do these things and this is the business I'm running, but then
how is 30 minutes going to take away from my ability to pour into my relationship in our life? 30 minutes.
Yeah. Do you feel
really think about that. Me stopping and typing for, 30 minutes is me over guesstimating. Let's just realistically say it took me 8 minutes. That 8 minutes is me being busy.
Do you feel like you only put 8 minutes a day into it though, into your business?
I didn't at one point. I poured years in already.
Okay.
Why am I doing that
now you're okay, I'm done.
For what? I have a successful relationship, a successful business with staff. Why do I need to wake up and grind all day?
No, I agree.
For what? I should have just got a job if I wanted to do that.
Say that word. How many years did you put in the front end, really building? What were your hard?
I will definitely say 2016 to 2020.
Okay, so 4 good strong years where you were I'm working 50-hour weeks, going hard on a business. When was the moment where you felt okay, now I'm at the point where I need to start pivoting into building staff?
$10 million.
Okay, so it was a financial point where you were
You're doing over $10 million in a 12-month period. That doesn't happen by yourself. That happens with teams and staff. So you just implement that on and pour back into yourself because you've made it.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know when their finish line is.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely the truth. Did you feel that way from the beginning? You always knew where you want to go, or did that kind of happen like as it was rolling out?
No, I just knew that I needed a certain level of income to achieve the things that I wanted, like the things that I wanted to do, the things that I wanted to have.
Yeah.
Once those things are obtained, you have to know when it's
When to stop, when to chill.
you don't know how. People have dopamine addictions, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I think that too because I think a lot of people are driven by the money so much that they forget to live other parts of their lives.
It's living in scarcity.
Yeah,
Our country is in debt, but yet we're printing money.
Right.
Our country doesn't think like money is going to run out. They just print more. So why should you?
Yeah. No, I definitely think that people are like overworking, thinking that it's going to get them more happiness or more materialistic things. But do you feel like it really comes from an internal source, or do you think that the lifestyle you live is you're happy with it because of the external things that you have?
I'm happy within. I definitely lack like a realistic factor of fear. And like, just certain things that I do now in my life are definitely internal that are probably different from others from events that have happened. But again, like we're talking about somebody who their first like basketball game was courtside. Whether I was 12, 20, or 25, like I've been courtside my whole life. So that's my only seat to life.
Right.
A lot of people work so hard to go courtside and make decisions that put them in lower bowl or back in nosebleeds. But when you've been sitting there your whole life, it's normal.
It's easy to maintain.
It's normal. It's not something that you want because it's just normal. It's not something you get excited about. It's just the standard.
Yeah.
So when you've been kept at a certain standard your entire life and you know how to maintain it when you put in a certain amount of work, you just live for a living.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit more about building a team too, because I know that's been a huge part of your success is, having that team and that structure. How do you kind of set that up internally?
I think that a lot of people, it's better to pay less people more money than to pay a bunch of people like pennies on the dollar. More higher paid employees will put in more work. So I have a very concise team and I do hire and fire aggressively. I don't internalize feelings in my business. I feel like, again, a lot of people internalize too many things when it's constructive criticism. So you just have to know when to cut the fat.
Yeah, that's been honestly a trending topic all day with the other women is talking about how to build a team and the fact that when you're building a team, you gotta be able to take that criticism as the leader.
Just fire and find somebody else.
That's been the trending topic of today. That's like something that everybody's been saying. It's like
we're in a country everybody's hiring, but nobody has a job. And you think you can't find somebody?
Right.
Like really think about that. We're in a country where everybody's looking for a job, but nobody is getting hired. And people think that, you see these viral videos, they quit their job. Okay, see if you find another one.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of people right now. It's really hard outside. Like, that's not a joke. So, I mean, as a business owner, and I do pay out 5 figures a month in payroll. Like, no, I have a great team that is paid ample amount of money for the work that they put in. I'm grateful for that. But we're not going to allow new hires to disrupt that cycle or that team. Like, no, absolutely not.
No, I get that for sure. Do you start them in like on a trial period, or do you let
no
them,
you train them? You have to take the time to train somebody. Like, how am I supposed to ask you to jump into a fire and you haven't even been to firefighter school? Like, that's not really fair. Yeah. Take the time to train somebody. Take the time to really work them through the way that you would do it, and they will be able to do it the way that you would, and put trust into them. A lot of people don't trust their staff.
Facts.
You have to trust people. Like, it's just what it is. Too many people carry trauma, and it's not that serious. Trust people to work the same way and care the same way that you do, and they will.
Yeah, no, that's true. Because I had one of our earlier guests. She was like, a lot of people left working from me because I was toxic. She was like, did she say it? I swear she said it. She's like, a lot of people stopped working with me because I was toxic. And I was like, how did you overcome your toxicity? And she was like, I had to start going to therapy and like really do the internal work. Have you done those type of things already in yourself?
I've been to therapy 100%, but I've never had a problem. Like, I have great operating managers that have been with me for years. Like, I have somebody over our hiring and firing processes. And he's making like $260 a year. So again, like, you pay people what they're worth, like, and they will, like, they're gonna perform. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty chill. I stay out of the things that I'm not good at. Like, I don't talk to customers because I'm not going to do this. So I always have people that, you know, address customers that know how to speak to them in a way that they understand. That is always good. But I just stay away from the things that that's not my strong suit. There's no point in me doing it.
Yeah. No, I definitely get that too. Like, hire your weaknesses and
yeah,
stay in your
like,
zone of genius.
Just, you know, focus on cash producing activities and pay people what they're worth. Stop trying to penny pinch. Like, you'll make more money with good people on your staff.
I say that all the time. I tell people, I'm like, when you can afford to start paying people, then it gives you the chance to make more money, like more revenue generating things that you can make more money from.
Yeah.
What do you tell new entrepreneurs who want to make more money, like in the sense of they want to have 7 streams of income and doing all the businesses? What do you usually say to them?
Yeah, that culture is so sick. It's just
crazy
so sick.
to me.
If you're just starting out, you're first off building a business on survival, which I did. So you have to understand that you're trying to pay your bills, not inspire others or do anything pretty. So get into business models that will allow you to do only that, which is put a roof over your head and light and food on your table. Because that's really the first thing that you want to do. It's not pay yourself and get an LLC. It's, am I not going to get evicted this month? Or am I going to be able to pay for daycare? Like, realistically, like, people just try to glamorize this 7 stream of income thing and this business thing when honestly we're in a time of survival and we should be learning how to make money that's going to help us survive so that we could build that business. But
yeah.
What's up, ladies? Thanks so much for tuning into Rob to Riches podcast. I know you've been seeing on this episode that my hands has been super moisturized, and I want you guys to check out the company Touch 24 because they have the best body butters with all natural products. I've been using them for over a year, and I think that you should start too. They have the most amazing scents for your body to be moisturized and to get the oily, beautiful glow that you need this summer. Check out their website with the link in the description box.
yeah.
Have you, I know you have a few different businesses. Have you ever found that business is truly passive yet?
Nothing in life is passive.
Okay, so that passive income is a joke.
You know what's a passive income stream? Being a wife. It's very passive. I highly recommend that everybody get married to a man that can provide that lifestyle for you because it's the only thing passive in your life. Business is not passive. You have to do something. Now, is it 110% 5 years in? No. You could probably start doing 60% in some aspects and other things will be 110. But nothing in this life is passive. There's no such thing as passive income. And I've been doing this a while. Still have to get up and put in the work. So
I'm glad you said that because these folks be like,
go be a
passive income
Yeah,
stream.
go be a housewife.
Like, where?
Be a housewife and bake cookies, which to a degree that's not passive. But being a housewife, baking cookies beats getting a job. So pick your struggle, bro. Like, just be a wife or go get a job. It's really your choice. Like,
do you feel like a woman could be both?
But again, like, if I have a cup and I pour, that water is going to go down in that cup. So you can do both. But again, are you in a relationship with a man that looks at your glass half full or half empty?
So you think it depends on the partnership that you
Yeah,
have?
like there are men that look at a woman that does both and that's half full, and there are men that look at that as half empty.
Right.
Who is your partner?
Yeah, that makes sense because we were talking about this earlier too of just we're trying to build relationships that are sustainable, and we're like the love is gonna fade and go, and here we're like what's gonna be sustainable is, you know, the values that we both have, the mission in life that we both have, the financial status and capabilities that we both have.
I mean,
what do you think creates a sustainable relationship these days?
You have to like a person for being the person that they are. Like, I really just think it comes down to that, like liking the person for the way that they handle things, the way that they handle conflict, the way that they lead, or the way that, you know, like the things they like to do. I dated somebody that was financially stable, but we did not have like the similar interests.
Right.
He was a hookah and tequila vacation guy. I was a 5 a.m. excursion gal. Didn't work. So, you know, you just want to find people that have those same interests and those same goals and the same lifestyle that, you know, you want for one another.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That definitely does. Do you feel like there should be, well, what's the dating period look like for you?
What do
Like,
you
do you
mean?
feel like, you know how you're like, oh, have you heard this topic where they're like, oh, a guy got to spend, you know, $100 or more on dinner with me or else, whatever the case may be. Like, do you feel
I'm
like
not.
there's...
I've never gone out on dates with men that are worried about $100 dinner date or care about how much they're feeding me. I've
Yeah.
never.
So you feel like that conversation is just...
I've never gone on a
dumb.
date where I've dealt with that type of energy personally. Like me personally, I've never gone out on a dinner date where he was clocking what I was eating.
Yeah.
Like ever in my life, actually.
I don't think it's about them clocking what you're eating, but I think it's like the conversation kind of came about when it was like, okay, we're going into a recession, and now men are trying to be more financially thoughtful when they're picking.
Are they
the
just
dates that they're
meeting me
choosing on.
or?
Yeah, like it's new,
Again, like if you're asking me to go to dinner,
Yeah.
you're paying for it.
right?
Like, and if you're asking me to go to dinner, tell me where we're going. It's my choice if I would like to attend that. Like,
Yeah.
But I mean, am I gonna be like, no, I'm not going to Chick-fil-A? I eat Chick-fil-A. Well, if you want to buy me Chick-fil-A, that's cool. Like, I'm not gonna take offense because I'm eating nuggets. I eat nuggets regardless of who I'm dating or who I'm with. My parent fed me nuggets. My friends have nuggets are fine. Like, I don't take offense to that. Like, I mean, that's just my personal experiences. But I mean, if you take offense to nuggets, then maybe you're not a nugget gal. I don't know. Like, I don't really know how else to say
nugget
that.
gal.
Like, maybe you're just not into nuggets. But I eat chicken nuggets, so like, I don't take offense to that. Like, what's the issue? Again, I don't really have conversations with men that are like, oh, we can't do this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have those types of conversations.
Yeah.
And that's because, again, the men they can look at my Instagram and see, oh, this girl
type of lifestyle. Yeah.
if this girl already had Cuban chains and was in Dubai,
Clearly, you gotta have.
you know, like she's expecting a certain level. Whether I paid for it myself or some man paid for it, you're looking at me and seeing like, this is the lifestyle that she already has. If you want to DM me and like outreach to me, you are outreaching to me with knowing that. You're not gonna try to like, you know what I mean? Like they're not looking at that. They're gonna go look at somebody else. Like there's 1 million plus women on Instagram. Like just
Right.
go get another one.
Right, that part. How do you feel like your content, like your lifestyle content, works with like growing your businesses? Like, how do you feel like those help with growing your brand?
I don't post it to grow my brand. I post it because I'm happy to be there. The subtitles, I guess, grow my brand because I tell the same story on all my content, but I'm there because I want to be there. I don't wake up and say, I'm going to travel and climb a mountain because of my business. My business was allowing me to do that, but the videos definitely grow it, but I'm not doing it with the intention of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know some people are like, their strategy is, I'm going to show my lifestyle and like do lifestyle content, be more influential in order to, you know, grow the business.
I mean, if my lifestyle influences you, that's cool, but for what? I really sell products. I don't have to sell lifestyle.
Yeah.
I'm really actually doing e-commerce. I really sell product-based businesses. I really make money in this stuff. So, and as well as just the courses, like I'm selling true education. I'm really educating people on how to sell online. I don't feel like my lifestyle, my travel habits, or my relationship should influence anybody to buy anything that I have.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, you shouldn't buy with the intention of thinking you're going to be where I am because you haven't gone through or walked the way or through anything that I've walked through. And I
Right.
wouldn't ask you to. So,
Yeah.
no.
What was kind of like some of your background? Like, how did you get started in the beginning of it in 2014?
2016, but I moved out for a boy that told me he was going to pay all the bills if I moved out of my parents' home to live with him. So obviously he didn't do that.
Okay.
So I had to figure out how to find $3,000 to pay the rent. I had 1 month free rent and then it was due in June. So I moved out April 6th. So I started selling other people's products. I got my first high ticket sale selling another person's product June 2nd. It cleared on the 3rd and put me in a position to pay that rent. To then selling my own products with e-commerce on Shopify, running Facebook advertising, dumping money into Facebook back then, which was a lot easier. Nowadays, you wouldn't be able to do that, but it allowed me to first make $5,000 to $10,000 selling a fishing pole pen, and then making my first 6-figure month in revenue selling makeup.
Okay, I like that. So you always started with selling like other people's products.
Yeah.
That was always what worked for you.
I didn't have no money, so what was I gonna do?
Yeah.
I didn't have a product.
Yeah, you were like, okay, how can I make this work? Drop shipping,
Yeah.
with no money going into it. Why did you jump out for a guy? What was it? Was it like you were in love with him? What was the
We had already
situation?
been together for over a year.
Okay.
And the relationship was I was a server.
Like a waitress?
Yeah, I was a
Okay.
bartender server, and he was doing probably well over 500,000 a year. So the relationship, like, I guess hierarchy maybe we would call it, was him paying for everything. So when he asked me, I was like, oh, okay, like, yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, switched up.
Real quick. They be
Yeah.
doing that. Why do they be doing that?
You know, looking back and understanding it now, like older, he was going through a tough time. And he was like overspending. I think, in my opinion, I think he was overspending, and he just put himself in a rut and got depressed. And, you know, the situation between us got really, really bad. But in that sense, like, he created a villain origin story.
Yeah.
Because you got to think, at 20, 21, this is my first serious relationship, you get that innocence. You get all of that, oh, I believe everything you say. You don't get any of that pushback to now you're creating all of that trauma, the trust issues, all the things that people bash you for. He created that in me. The only difference is I took it and I just, I just turned into like a demon.
Yeah, you were on demon time.
Yeah, so, and you know what, that takes years to unlearn, you know, in my
That's what I
situation.
was asking you early, like, how did you kind of like
Unlearn it?
Yeah, like how did you kind of go through your process?
Traumatizing experience in 2018, honestly. The loss of my son kind of put it in perspective. That kind of like understood, for me at least in that situation,
Was it a stillbirth, or how did you lose?
No, so he didn't have a heartbeat, and before 22 weeks, it wouldn't be a stillborn. Technically, you would have to be after 22 weeks.
Wow.
So it just is. It's just miscarriaging at that point. But that kind of put me in a place where I felt like I didn't love him. That this feeling that I have now towards this baby was love.
Okay.
So it kind of like shifted, and like, you know, I wasn't so bitter, I wasn't so angry about the things that had happened. I was more just hurt and kind of figuring out my own emotions and my own, you know, shifting through that grief and that change in my body.
Right. Wow, that's deep stuff. And I mean, right at that point, you were 2 years into like
I had
really
made my
growing
first
your
$1 million.
business. Dang.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that made you want to go even harder, or did you take a break in that period?
No, I went harder. I tried to work through
Like
it. I
work it
tried.
away.
Yeah, I tried.
Did it work?
No. Crashed and burned.
Yeah.
Like, not money wise, it just was like a complete
Like mentally.
basket case. I was
Yeah.
basket case.
Yeah.
But you know, it's okay. You know, you pick yourself back up, and then 2020 we rolled out with the Boss Palace,
Yeah.
and 10.4 million in 11 months. So it full circles. Like, I've never not overcame anything, and I've always overcame it not as like a stereotypical like strong black woman. I've always overcame it pretty lighthearted and just.
Like
It happens.
With a fun nature.
Yeah, like it's always been like, you know, it happened. It's definitely sad. I take it,
Yeah.
you know, I take that in, but we have to understand that these things happen, and we
Yeah.
can't just carry them with us.
Do you feel like that has shaped who you are in the sense of like wanting to be a mother again, or how you are as a wife, or like in your future wife?
I would say Kevin Samuels played a part in just my domestication and understanding like where I want to be as a wife and as a homemaker.
We love Kevin Samuels. I'm sorry, I have to say.
Love him. And then you know, the new fan favorite. I don't want to murder her name. It's like Shara7.
Sprinkle.
Yes, Sprinkle. Love us a Sprinkle. Love her. But you know, that definitely helped me just kind of like really list out the things that I'm gonna do for my partner and what I'm willing to do for my partner and things like that. But no, the wanting a child thing only happened because I had lost a child, honestly. I wasn't really thinking that, but I was also 23. But again, like, we're not bringing any dust into the world without a serious level of commitment.
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah.
That's a fact. Because I think that so many times women have, you know, kids out of wedlock, and then they think that they're in love with this person, and then it ends up being a baby mama situation.
Yeah, I'm not bringing a baby with his last name unless we all have it. So
I've said that since I'm like, why do you? I always ask.
My child will not have my man's last name if we don't all have the same last name.
What would be the point?
So we could play that game if he wants.
Because it will be easier for you, like, just looking at it from a standpoint of, like, it will be easier for you to, like, register him to school, you know.
It's not even that. Like, really think about a man that doesn't have access to his kids. You have, like, let's say you're paying child support, you lose your job, you lose the house that you bought for her, you lose everything because you didn't want to get. You think a man wants to live like that? That man's life sucks. Now, I'm not gonna say that there's not men out there living their best life, but for the most part, a man doesn't want to lose his family over, like, he's not gonna jeopardize that. He wants his family, at least if you're with the right person. So yeah, like I said, like, you could play that game if you want to, and you won't have a son, and this will be my son, and his stepdaddy matters, and we will all have the last name. But yeah, so yeah, we're all gonna have the last name. That's
Stepdads matter.
literally. So, you know, in my relationship, we will all have the same last name before that baby gets a birth certificate. That's the.
I mean, that's ideal.
No, that's
Standard.
No,
as you would
that's
say.
like law.
Yeah. Are your parents still together?
No, they divorced when I was 18.
Okay.
But we were all born in wedlock.
Yeah.
And we
How
all.
many siblings do you have?
I'm the oldest of 4.
Oh, okay. Nice. How old are you? I'm sorry.
I'm 28.
Okay. Yeah, we're the same age. I'll be 28 in May 3rd.
Yeah, we all grew up in a 2-parent home, so.
Yeah. We did too. Me and my siblings. I have 5 siblings. I'm the baby girl. I have 1 sibling under me, but my parents got divorced when I was like maybe 16.
Yeah, they held on until we were finished.
But we actually used to ask my mom to get a divorce because my dad was on drugs. So we used to be like,
we didn't have like a toxic situation.
Yeah, ours was so chaotic. It was always something new. Every day was an adventure.
Oh no, I grew up in a loving home.
Yeah, I mean, my parents are both loving, but it was just always like dramaful. It was.
Yeah, no, mine was pretty chill.
Yeah, well, that's definitely good. Where did you grow up at?
Florida.
In Florida? Okay. Yeah, and it's sunny out there too, so that's definitely nice. Yeah, I feel like the way that I grew up played a big part on the way that I do entrepreneurship too, because I don't like a lot of responsibilities in business. Like, I like for my business I like to be able to like delegate the task as much as possible so that I can remain in my think space. And that's the way that I do my business, because it like keeps me feeling like I'm free. You know, I don't like being locked in to a lot of stuff.
Oh.
What do you think?
My personal opinion?
Yeah, of course.
I think that's lazy entrepreneurship.
I say that all the time. I say I am a lazy CEO.
Yeah. I just feel like you can do that. You can do that to your first 7 figures, even like probably 5 million. But if you want 10 million and up, no, you have to get in the mud and you have to work for it. 10 million is work. But 7 is coast. You could coast your way to 2 million actually.
Yeah. What's the work difference? What's the pivot difference?
Getting in the mud and really training people to be a better you. Like, you have to train people and trust people to work as hard as you. And if you're not working, why would you expect somebody you hired to work? Like, why? They see you chilling.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I definitely get that. I think for me, it's more so like creating that pipeline of like me as the founder and not so much the CEO. You know what I mean? Like, I think for me, it
depends on
like,
what type of business model. In e-commerce, like, no, I'm in the mud, like coming up with the creatives and really managing the marketing and really making sure that we're putting out the best product that people want to continue to buy.
Do you feel like your title is CEO? Like, is that what you call yourself?
No.
What do
I call myself?
Yeah, like for your business.
Christianna.
No, like the title of you and your business. Like, are you a board member? Are you a founder? Are you a CEO?
I just say I own it. Like, I just say I founded and created those.
Okay, so founder.
But, yeah.
Okay, so you go with founder. So yeah, I feel like when you get to the point where you're founding, I feel like you shouldn't be working anymore. You should be able to have like that, like,
you can.
lazy
It's
CEO
just
vibe.
again, like, it just depends on what your financial goals are and where you want to be. You know, Forbes 30 under 30, Forbes next 1,000. It's because you are creating a social impact within our community, and that social impact needs to be big enough that people know who you are when you walk into a room for that business. So it just depends on where you're trying to go and where you are.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Well, what advice would you give to any of the new entrepreneurs watching the podcast today?
Definitely just get started. That is the first thing. You want to get started. You want to put your best foot forward and put in the work. I have free classes every single Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern that you guys can come to, put yourself in a better position so that you are able to invest into yourself and pour back into yourself.
I love that. And tell the people where they can find you.
You guys can find me anywhere on the internet, Christianna Hurt, or just search Wealthy College Kid. And I hope to see you guys all in our free class this Wednesday.
Thanks for watching another episode of the Rob to Riches podcast.
Rob to riches. We got robbed, now we got riches.